The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Laws of Empowering Entrepreneurs. I'm Blanca, the founder of the Laws of Life platform, and with me today is Natan Verkhovsky, founder of the Essential Academy, and my esteemed co-host. How are you, Sir Natan?
I'm feeling wonderful, madame. How are you doing today, Lady Blanca?
I am doing quite well. I decided to appoint you with a royal title. How does it feel?
I like it, Sir Natan. Dun, dun, dun. It feels like I should have theme music behind me wherever I walk, like a band that just follows you, you know?
You know, you're right. I should play a video. We should have, they can give people titles in England. Well,
Yes.
we need to start giving our empowering entrepreneurs titles for their, when they come out with a new book, they should get a title. There should be a ceremony. I don't think we
I
celebrate.
think they call those people
moments.
authors, no?
Huh?
When they come out with a new book, don't they call those people authors? That's their title.
I knew you were going to say that. You don't know this, but I can read your mind. But I'm saying, oh, look at that. We got some feedback. Brenda.
Hey.
Isn't that your friend, Brenda?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
That's our Brenda.
That's our Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for tuning in. So I think if I did one thing right in 2022, it was appointing you as my co-host, because your energy is so motivated, so on fire. And I guess my question for you is, how do you stay so powerful, so confident? Where does it come from?
Well, I cheat. I surround myself with really incredible people. People from all over the world. There's the comment from somebody from El Salvador, also one of our newest instructors.
All right.
Constantly surround yourself with incredible, wonderful, uplifting, empowering people. Well, your energy can't be the bottom one, right? So when you have this vibrational frequency, and if it's of fear and doom and gloom and I don't know how I'm going to get, X amount of money to fix my whatever problem is, that's a very different vibrational frequency. You'll notice you'll be attracting all these other problems that all keep cascading down. In French, they say never two without three. So you'll have this mirage of problems that keep on coming on and coming through. But then all of a sudden you raise yourself to a vibrational frequency of abundance. And you just start noticing that, you know what, if I have one more dollar than I need, what on earth is the definition of abundance? I think that's it, isn't it? I have just a little bit more than I need. I'm abundant. And all of a sudden, all these other opportunities and all these other people keep coming into your life. And sure enough, they're abundant too, because they wouldn't resonate with you otherwise. If you're freaking out trying to pay the rent, that's not going to be the people that hang out with you. You're only going to hang out with other people that are freaking out trying to pay the rent. So if we're coming to a place of you're like, all the people you surround yourself with, Blanca, from Johnny Vision to all these other people, they're just trying to big up and do good in the world. Well, then what do you think that does to your energy? You could be having a crappy day and woke up and stubbed your toe and you're trying to fix your hair and you shaved off one of your eyebrows. It could be a bad day. But then all of a sudden you go, I'm okay because the people who know me love me and the people who love me know me. And honestly, that group just keeps growing every day.
Yeah. So if I hear you correctly, your true definition of abundance is the friends that surround you matter more than anything else in the world?
No, it's having one more of whatever the hell it is that you think you need than you need. That's it. One more. You need one more dollar than you need. You're good. You're abundant. You take one more breath than you thought you needed. You're alive. Congrats. You woke up one morning. 6 million of us didn't. So get into that abundance equals gratitude. That gratitude equals abundance.
Okay. I like that. I think that's a phenomenal law. And every week you can continue to inspire and ignite my soul and everybody that's watching. And again, Brenda and Anna, thank you for tuning in. All right, well, we have an amazing guest today. Do you want to introduce her? Let's bring Krista to the stage and then tell us about Krista. Welcome, Krista.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Good. How are you, Natan? Good to see you, Blanca.
You too. So tell us about Krista, Natan.
In the short version, Krista is a business crew chief, Formula race car instructor, racer, driver, mechanical engineer for IBM, master instructor practitioner for NLP, timeline therapy, and a few other modalities. Somebody who, if you look at as a cat, because she's lived so many lives, would be a perfect way to look at this. She's one of the most uniquely talented people that is able to combine so many different aspects, mentally, physically, emotionally, as well as so many different modalities. Understanding the mind of a racer, the mind of an engineer, and then going into the mind to help reprogram it through NLP and other therapies, puts somebody in a completely different position. So Krista, for 25 years in motorsports, in facilitating teams, instructing, has a unique ability to unlock what most traditional coaches and therapists don't. So because of that, she works closely with me, with my team, even with my family. That's why I'm very, very pleased to have her as a tenured instructor with her. She's alumni. So that means that she's with the essentialacademy.org for life.
Oh, wow.
That's
incredible. Oh, my goodness. Well, welcome, Krista. It's such an honor to have you and to be on the faculty with you.
Thank you.
So I don't even, where do I begin? All right, well, let's start here. What do you think is your number one gift to the world?
My number one gift is really being able to expose blind spots. As in working with Natan, the Academy, and a lot of work over the last couple of years, it's really blowing up those blind spots. It's being able to see what is right in front of you, what you look at every day, and giving it a different perspective.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that most entrepreneurs know their blind spots or not? No.
Absolutely not. And if they think they do, I guarantee you there's more lurking there. It's just like when you drive down the road and you're driving a car. Every car has blind spots. Every vehicle you're in has blind spots. And those blind spots, as long as you're moving, as long as you're doing something, they're changing. So just as one is exposed, another one may show up. Just like layers of an onion. You can take and, peel off one layer and there's still another layer there. You can look a little bit deeper and it may expose something that, you knew it was there, yet you didn't know necessarily how deep or how much of it was there.
So what tools do you offer? Do you start off with a survey when you meet with an entrepreneur? Do entrepreneurs, what are the blocks entrepreneurs are experiencing when they come to you?
Oh, they're very individual. Most of them are based in limiting beliefs or limiting decisions that they've had most of their life, that they were actually imprinted with, which would have been in NLP. We talk about the imprint years, which is from 0 to 7 years old. And it may have been as simple as someone saying to a girl, hey, you're not big enough to play with the big boys. And that lands in their unconscious. And in some ways will hold them back for years, and then there's those of us like me that say, no, someone tells you, no, you can't do that. And you go, turn around, you go, yeah, watch me.
On my way.
I'm on my way. Go ahead. Underestimate me. This will be fun. So it's a lot of those. And so many times we don't even know that it's happening, right? We don't even know that what an aunt or an uncle said to us at Christmas one year is going to land like that. And until you've done some inner work, you've done some work on you personally, there may still be those struggles in your professional life. There may be still those struggles in your personal life. As one of my coaches and mentors says all the time, and I've definitely adopted this in my life, it's that the personal serves the professional and the professional provides for the personal. So it is impossible to work on one without working on the other.
Wow.
You
So
know,
that's I would say that definitely distinguishes you from other business strategists that we have, that I've met. Every strategist has their own unique approach. So for you, it sounds like you are, in a sense, exploring limiting beliefs that formed at a very young age.
Absolutely.
So,
That's part of it. Definitely.
so there's a lot of psychology involved in your approach.
Mhm.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I would say the number one thing that holds entrepreneurs back that I've worked with and that I'm working with is mindset. There's a great quote by Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, that says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. In the children's book, The Little Engine That Could, right? I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. How many times did it
Oh,
not happen?
I love that
And it
story.
finally happens. Sorry
I
for the spoiler alert if you haven't read it, but it's the children's book, The Little Engine That Could, and it's life changing. I mean, reading it as an adult, I read it to my daughter, and I was like, look, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I went to a networking event a couple of days ago, and I came home, and my husband's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I have rope burns," and he's like, "From a networking event?" I was like, "Yeah, it was this really cool place called Thrive Outdoors." So shout out to the Thrive Outdoors here in Manchester, New Hampshire. And it was all about team building and how when you're part of a team and you're working on something, the support is a big part of it. You doing what you want to do is a big part of it. Knowing where you're going is a big part of it. Learning by watching around others, others that are doing it around you are doing it. And the number one principle that this place teaches is mindset.
Interesting.
And it was really cool because as you're doing this ropes course, right? Everybody started out at the basic level. Like everybody that was there, regardless of their physical ability, was able to do level 1.
How high up are you, Krista?
Like 8 inches off the floor.
Okay, cool.
Padded,
Okay. It's not like one of those like three top retreat things.
Yeah. So at one point you're about 6 feet off the floor.
Okay.
And it was just that mental and that physical and that really that emotional support of those people around you that allowed those of us, there were 3 of us that did the advanced rope course, which is the same course, but you do it in a different way.
Okay.
So instead of walking across the initial one, which was a 2 ropes with rungs, if you will, in between, you couldn't use every one. You had to use every other one. And then the next part was there was a rope across and then 2 big ropes that looped down. When everyone went across the first time, they walked across the long rope and they used the other rope for support. Well, in the advanced one, you couldn't walk on the rope that went straight across.
Oh, wow.
So it was really insightful watching these different people do things, and everyone has their own interpretation. Everyone has their own way of doing things. And it was really cool to watch people adjust and look at it again and say, you know what? It's okay. And they tell you this beforehand. It's okay to put a foot down if you need to. I did. I'm like, wow. And today, my pectoral muscles, my triceps, I'm like, I'm still sore.
Oh, wow.
What did we learn from going networking on Tuesday? Networking and motion events are really cool. And I need to do more weights.
Yes, all the above. Oh my God, that could be a t-shirt, Blanca. It's okay to put a foot down. I like that.
It's okay to put a foot down.
I think that might be maybe what I learned this week. It's okay to make a mistake. We're human, for God's sake. You can't beat yourself up every time you make a mistake. And it's okay if one of your team members makes a mistake. You got to support them. Like when we have to be a little bit more supportive and not so perfectionistic. But is that how we need to be in our business? Is it okay to make mistakes in our business too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because I guarantee you, Oprah didn't get to where she is by not making mistakes.
You're making mistakes whether you know you're making mistakes.
Make mistakes. And here's the thing with mistakes. Here's the thing with mistakes.
Yeah.
As long as you treat them as feedback, it's never a failure. If you learn something from making a mistake, all of us have done it. We've all learned from our mistakes, whether you realize it or not. We all eventually learned how to walk. We didn't come into this world learning how to walk.
Yeah.
We barely know how to crawl. I mean, we knew how to breathe, but you've learned from your mistakes throughout your life.
Yep.
And as long as you continue to do that, you continue to evolve, you continue to grow, you'll continue to move forward.
Thank you for that. I received that, and I really appreciate you saying that. And I know this conversation's only going to get more fired up. We're going to take a quick commercial break. So speaking of God forbid mistakes, if God forbid you have a personal injury or a car accident, what do? Well, what you should do is consult with an attorney like Tim Marecki. For those of you who are in the state of Florida, think of Tim if you're in a car accident. And he's one of my best friends. He's a brother, and he's sponsored the Laws of Life platform for 3 years. So let's take a look at his message from Diamond sponsor, Tim Marecki. Tim Marecki, 561-847-2868. And I'm really grateful to Tim Marecki. He's been a huge supporter. He's been a sponsor of the Laws of Life platform. And his sponsorship keeps evolving as his, we did all his videos. I designed his website. I wrote all the content on his website, as I do have 25 years of past legal experience and the head of a publicly traded company. I even personally did his photography, his video edits. And I like working with people that I build a long-term relationship with, because, so that's what I want to ask you next. I have found I have my diamond law of life, and that is I have come to the conclusion that certain people will become diamonds in my life. And with respect to those diamonds, they become teachers, and I'm also their teacher too. And it's very important that we're in integrity with the diamond. So Natan, you are a diamond, in case you don't know. You're a diamond, because we have this beautiful collaboration that we have built and a friendship based on action. Now, Krista, my question to you is, what is your opinion on the diamond philosophy?
I would say that it definitely takes time to get to that point. Just in the way that a diamond is made, it goes through a very strenuous, a very stressful, a very pressure, hot environment, if you will.
For a while.
And they can be traded out, right? You can always upgrade them. You can always change them, right? You can always have them reset. Like you said, they may be a mentor. They may be someone who gives to you. You may be someone else's diamond in the rough, and they may be your sparkling diamond at the time. And then those roles may change. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's
I know for me personally, I'm continually learning from those people around me, like Natan said during the intros, right? That it's constantly creating that environment, surrounding yourself with more and more people, getting more and more people around you that are, whether it's where you're going, where you want to be, where you are now, or you're reaching back and saying, hey, you come with me. Let me help you. Let me not just look out here and look and chase these people. It's looking back and saying, hey, you know what? Just by looking back, by looking at what happened in the past, and by those people that I'm helping, my coach and I laugh about this a lot of times, is that I learn as much from my clients some weeks as I do helping them. I know Tatan's heard me say this before, is that, I love what I do because I get to work on my own things while helping other people.
Exactly. Well, the truth is that as you're teaching, I do take on private marketing consulting clients, only with the marketing strategization. And as I'm speaking to them, You're developing processes in your mind. You're developing guidelines. You're developing, wow, this conversation could have been half the time if I would have had a Google form and asked all these questions before the meeting started. So that's interesting. So you think that diamonds aren't forever? You think do you think that everything is meant to, do you think everything should be a short term and that long-term relationships are unrealistic, or what do you think?
No, I think long-term relationships are definitely here to stay. I think that they take time to develop.
Okay.
One of the laws of NLP is, hey, it took me how long to get here? It's going to take me time to change.
You got to respect that.
And you don't immediately become a diamond unless you do, of course. And many people just, it takes time to create that diamond. I guess what I'm saying more so is that they can change in value over time, and they can change the way that you look at them.
That's true.
And sometimes, if you've ever worn a diamond ring or a diamond piece of jewelry, earrings, they get dulled by life. And then you clean them, you refresh them, and they're brilliant again.
That's true.
Oh, I like that. And to speak to
it's a matter of, like I have my mom's wedding ring. She passed almost 8.5 years ago now. I have her diamond wedding ring that I plan on having reset. So it's still an amazing part of my life. And I get to, I'll lovingly say, repurpose it and make it new again, because she had these tiny little fingers. I inherited my father's side and got fat sausage fingers. So, so I'm like, her ring will never fit me ever the way that it is now. Nor would I wear it because it sticks up too much, right? So
fair enough. So I like that.
Off when I work on the car. So
take something old and refine it and keep it fresh again. So with respect to your approach, how much time do you spend looking at the childhood of your client? Is that a 1 session? Is that a 4 session? What does that look like?
So there's not really a one size fits all, right? So it's more of a, what are they working through? When someone tells you what their problem is, right? That's not really the problem that you're going to end up working on. I need to make more money. Well, that's not really the problem, because what's underneath that? So it's a process throughout working with a client that we will eventually tap into those.
Mm-hmm. It's
never a cookie cutter. Oh, well, if you do X, Y, and Z, you're going to get 1, 2, 3.
Aw.
It's I've worked with Natan and, like he said, some of his family members, and it's different for each person. I have kind of a straw man framework that I work with, and I can work with you and listen to your language, watch your body language, listen not only to what you say, I also listen to how you say it, the words that are actually used, and take that and say, okay, well, possibly this happened. And until you actually tell me that's what happened, we don't actually work directly on it.
Interesting.
Blanca, you got to think about, for somebody in this space that plays with people, incredible people, wonderful, heartfelt people all the time, to be able to open up and to let somebody touch your family is a very big deal. To go and say, there's very few things in our world. The Academy's, I think, almost 400 people now. In that space, there's 3, maybe 4 people in the entire scope that are able to speak to everybody. And out of the 3, 4 that are able to speak to everybody, there's maybe 1 or 2 that has something that I standardize to make sure that everybody has a taste of this. If you need help becoming an instructor and focusing on making courses, we have a program, we have teams, we have our own proprietary 90-day onboarding. It's called You Made It, which is a ha. And Krista's a part of that. So she's on the course creation team. She's embedded into the system of everybody that we get to do and everybody that we get to help out. So in that scope, she's touching everybody, past, present, and future, as a tenured instructor with us. And that means that where she comes in from goal setting, where she comes in and says, hey, ultimately, you're here. Like she said, this is not a cookie cutter. This is different for everybody. And so we offer that bespoke way to look at things, to go, look, for you, this is completely different. You're in a completely different place. You have different digital assets. You have different experience. You have different life experience. You have different hopes. You have different dreams. You're in a different place right now, and what you want is different. So knowing that she can come in, and more importantly, saying, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, what you want. And she's able to say, I've done this, that, this, that. What can I do for you? Where are you? What are you trying to do? How do I help you move 3 steps forward? Just a little bit easier, a little bit quicker than you trying to do this stuff.
And what do you really want, right?
Yes.
Because so many times we think we know what we want. We say what we think we want,
That's true.
and you're like, here in your heart, you're like, yes, this is what I want to do.
Mhm.
Yet when you dig a little deeper and you look at things, so many times it's a version of someone else's dream that you're trying to live.
Ooh,
And once you can get past those layers of that, it makes a huge difference in you wanting to get out of bed in the morning and do something.
Without a doubt.
Looking for those opportunities and making things real in your life. And what is it that you really want?
You're so right. Well, sometimes here's what we're gonna get into that deeper, because I'm fascinated by that specific topic. And that issue is, you start on a journey and then you amend your journey, and basically you're amending your vision. My belief is that's fine. That's what life is. But let's take a quick commercial break. But I want to shout out to Barbara Ulmer for watching. Barbara's part of the Essential Academy. She says, excellent diamonds. Joey Lewis from the Laws of Life says diamonds are forever. And Barbara said, great job, Krista. So we're going to take a moment to celebrate the Laws of Life Roku channel. We have 28 categories on our Roku channel, including the Laws of Empowering Entrepreneurs. We also distribute this show to 137 channels. If you want to have your own show and talk about your laws of life, this is how to do it. Let's take a quick look.
Awesome.
So, every time I watch that commercial, it just gives me new ideas. And I just want to say this: I don't buy followers. Every follower that I have is organic. It's based on a handshake. It's based on an introduction to a friend of a friend. It's based on a podcast, a webcast, a networking event. Because if I bought fake followers and then I shared your show to fake followers, what do you think is going to happen? Absolutely nothing.
Yep.
And that goes back to the diamond philosophy. You don't need to have a mine of diamonds. You just need to have some good diamonds that support you, just like Joey, Vice Versa Entertainment, like Barbara, like Anna, like Brenda, like Natan, like Krista. So you don't have to just polish the diamonds that you have. Take care of them, love them, shine a light on them, and those relationships will grow. Now, the next issue I want to talk about. So here's the deal. I've been pretty on point with my vision, right? I said I want to be an international motivational talk show host. Then I added educational, because I love educating. I love educating in the areas of marketing, crypto, and business. I love teaching and just delivering the bottom line diamonds to help people grow and stay motivated. But you brought up a very interesting question, which is the entrepreneurial distraction of, oh, wait a minute, that looks better than what I'm doing. I'm going to say, oh, shiny object, squirrel crossing road. How do we deal with that, Krista? And what is the answer?
So one of the best ways to deal with that is to have an accountability partner. to have a coach, to have someone that you check in with. The only person you can truly hold yourself accountable is you.
Yeah.
And we as humans are social people. It's much better when we have someone else to check in with. And I will tell you in transparency, Barbara was my accountability partner for the onboarding program for the academy. So yeah, so I was really excited to see her. I've also done some work with Brenda. So thank you both. Shout out to both of you. You're amazing. Thank you both for being here. Was actually just talking with a client this morning about how you continue to go forward. And you mentioned something, Blanca. One of the things is the fortunes in the follow-up. It's remembering to do what you said you were going to do. You know, if you go, like I went to that networking event on Tuesday and I have 5 or 6 business cards of people that wanted information from me. So yesterday, I put the event on my calendar, went to the event on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I had 30 minutes to send those emails, make those phone calls, nurture those connections so that eventually they can go into that category of being diamonds, right? They are also in that category of, hey, look, they're looking for more information. Great. Yeah. And I also have a couple that I was like, look, I'm interested in what you do. Because that's what networking is all about when you go to an event, right? It's not just, here's what I do, buy from me. It's how can we help each other? How can we build this relationship so that I'm better, you're better, we are better? Like Natan said at the beginning, right? Really nurture that abundance and help everyone move forward. Help everyone get more from the event, from the conversation, from the relationship.
No, I agree 100% with that. And
can I add to that for a second? That I think that a lot of people that are coming into the space, or maybe have been here for a while, which is even worse because now you're jaded and now you're all in one certain way. If we remember that every single person we speak to has multiple hats they can wear. And if you only look at, like, if you're a hammer, everything you see is a nail. That's not accurate. Not everybody is. Not everything should be. Not everything will be. Not at this moment. And maybe there's too many variables. If you look at everybody you speak to as, okay, it'd be ideal if they were a purchaser. Hallelujah. You'd be a very wealthy person. Woohoo. Everyone bought from you. But what if they didn't want to for whatever reason? What if they wanted to, instead of being a purchaser, be a partner? What if they wanted to do something with you? What if at their stage in their life, they had something that they had assets, they had abilities, they had people, they had things that wanted to come to that, but they needed somebody who could fill the yin and the yang and the complementary other half. Maybe you could partner with somebody, make something cool and new from both of you. You put skin in the game, they put skin in the game, some beautiful new thing manifests. And lastly, what if they just said, oh my God, I love what you do. Holy crap. I know 16 people who should get to know you. Can I just promote you? Okay. And you can be blessed and thank each and every person you ever speak to. And you keep wearing those hats. And don't try to be strategic and like, ha, ha, ha. Are you promoting right now? Wait, are you a purchaser? Oh, crap. No.
Let it come naturally. Otherwise, it seems forced. And we all come across as salespeople.
Awfully. So
no, yeah. Find out what their problem is. If you have a solution, great. If you have a connection to make, even better. Because then what happens is when they do eventually need your service, guess what? They come back to you because you made another connection. You put someone else first in your business versus it's all about me. Come buy from me. No. What can I do to move you forward? If it's something from me, great. Absolutely. If it's something from a connection I can make, even better, because eventually something will come back.
Krista's connection that she just gave a referral to loves her now because he's like, okay, Krista, you're awesome. Holy crap, you just gave me money. And the first thing he's going to try to do, if he's a good enough human, because that's why she picked him in the first place, is try to make that right. The scales must balance. Now he owes Krista, and he's going to go, damn it, I got to get out of my way to find somebody to give to Krista. Holy crap. It's beautiful, you guys. It's a beautiful system once you get into that.
And when you expect nothing in return, it happens even quicker.
That's true. Let me tell you, to expect nothing in return is one of the biggest. All the laws that you just spoke about, I live, eat, and breathe those laws of life, and I agree with every single word you've said. It's very rare. I mean, I guess it's not really a surprise because Natan brought you to my life, and I'm very
like
grateful.
attracts like.
Exactly.
Good, bad, indifferent, ugly, whatever it is, like attracts like.
We're even wearing red today.
I know, right?
Vibrational frequency, ladies. This is what I'm talking
and I have
about.
the same chair. I just happen to be standing today.
Well, it's all good, but literally every single thing you said, Natan, which was the law that I got out of what you said, Natan, was every single person is a clue to the world, combined with Krista saying expect nothing in return.
Yes.
And I believe that every single word of a person you meet, that means, this is a big part of it, respect and kindness comes into play here.
Absolutely.
Humility. Whoever your Uber driver is, every taxi driver that I've ever been in my life, I always have great conversations with. Pay attention to your taxi drivers and your
One
Uber
of our
drivers.
instructors used to be an Uber driver. He needed 6 months to figure his head out and do some things and stuff. Met some wonderful people. Yeah.
I'm telling you, they are treasure troves of wisdom, because they're speaking to people all day long in their car that are clues to them. They actually have heightened wisdom because they are around so many people. So
Can I ask both of you?
yeah, go for it.
You both know me, and we're in an environment where more than half of us are women. And we seem to have attracted a unique vibration where
Yes.
other incredible, and you guys you're cool because you're in America. I'm up in Canada. We don't have that amazing designation you have, women-owned business. That's so cool. We really need
Well,
something.
that's because it took us till the 70s to even be able to do it.
We have none of that. We need something like that because there's a way that people who understand that and see that and acknowledge the fight and the struggle and the hardship really just resonate with that immediately. And for them to be able to go, oh, I'm buying this or I'm buying that. It's the same thing. But if I could give my dollar, I'm going to give my dollar here, and that's important. You guys have this ability to support yourselves, to create more, to go more. The Essential Academies are not for profit. So for us, we're here to help bring extra light, bring extra cause, bring extra goodness to those around the world that need it, but also to those around the world that kind of go, gee, I can't do that. I don't know what that means. I'm not empowered enough. This is empowering entrepreneurs.
Wow. Well, you guys definitely, I mean, and the feedback coming from Barbara is just so, everyone is so engaged on this interview. Barbara, thanks for your amazing comments and support. So, all right. So Krista, we only have 11 minutes left and I have so many questions to ask you. But I want to go back to the evolution of the vision. Do you think that we should create a business plan, create a marketing strategy, and stick to it? Or is it okay to change rivers and go down a few different rivers along the way?
So I would say it's okay to adjust your speed, adjust your direction. I would invite you to avoid jumping rivers and going to something completely different, unless, of course, you need to. I mean, I went from being in sales and selling wine to saying I'm doing business coaching and business strategy for people anyways, not getting paid for it. So I totally jumped ship in, February of 2019 and said, yeah, I'm done with that part of it and moved into something else. So I think it's more of, where does your heart truly lie? What do you really want to do? And you make adjustments from there. Sometimes it is jumping from the river to the ocean, or from river to river, or river to the lake, or whatever it is. Other times it's just simply a small tweak, a small little adjustment of, hey, instead of working, like I do a lot of my work on Saturdays, because I do a lot of work with entrepreneurs who are still in a 9-to-5 job or a normal work day, normal work week job. I do some of my coaching at night because that's when my clients are available. So it's a matter of, one of the other laws in NLP is the most flexible person in the situation controls the situation.
Oh, well, that's
So
good.
have you ever had an argument with a 7-year-old?
They win every freaking
They
time.
win every time, right?
Oh, damn it. They know rules you don't know. They follow rules you don't follow.
They follow rules that we've forgotten. It's not that we don't know them, we've forgotten them.
We don't follow them.
Like
We
what?
don't follow them anymore. You know, they deploy everything they could possibly think of
It's
to
brilliant.
get you to take that
Distract
toy off
you.
yourself
They'll
and put it in the
confuse
cart.
you. It's
Every
brilliant.
single time, right?
Brilliant.
How many times have you seen a mom, or maybe you were the mom or the parent, just put the damn thing in the cart and we're going to go? Or,
Brilliant.
as my coach taught me, you throw yourself down on the floor too and you throw a tantrum. And then the kid's like, oh my God, Mom, you're embarrassing me. Let's go. Right? So it's all about perspective. It's all about whether or not, you know, are you on the right course to begin with?
All right. Yeah, that's true. Well, I will say this, to be an empowering entrepreneur, you have to be I can only speak from my experience, but your mental health is a huge foundational component.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you said at the beginning, which is, yes, you do need to know what the blocks are from your childhood. I mean, we've got 7 minutes left. I mean, I can tell you, Natan knows I was bullied, I was excluded. So my whole life is about inclusion. I love to entertain. I love to host. I love.
You need to work with Krista one-on-one. It's highly recommended. I recommend it from family. I recommend it from friends. I recommend it from me putting her at a pedestal in the community that almost nobody else has.
Thank you, Natan.
Well-
I mean, it comes down to working on yourself, right? And does your mind chatter point you in a positive direction? Are you your best cheerleader? Or are you in the boardroom getting screamed at because as my coach says, the itty bitty committee in your head keeps telling you negative thoughts? We have 80,000 thoughts a day.
80,000?
Many of more. Many of them repeat.
Oh,
And most of them for people are negative.
and useless,
You
yeah.
can get that mind chatter under control.
It's a big
And
one.
you can turn it from being someone, from being a voice that complains, that criticizes, that says, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? To a voice in your head that says, you've got this. Let's go. And it becomes a cheerleader as opposed to a critic. It's life-changing.
I think
You bring yourself onto your side. Like, you're stuck with you, right? Like, nobody gets out of this alive. Nobody
I
gets
have this
new.
Post-it note that goes in front of me every day. Underestimate me. This will be fun.
I have my Post-it note. I love it.
Right?
wow.
So it's that.
You gotta
it's that
be on
matter
board.
of
This is
you
what we mean
believing
by
in
frequency. This is
yourself.
the
It's
frequency.
you believing in yourself and putting that out to the world, saying, yes, I can do this, right? I was in a race, 15 some odd years ago. And this other driver and we'd raced together several times, and we were swapping spots 3 to 4 times a lap. We came around, we were at Watkins Glen, New York, came around off of the back straight into the inner loop. And I was like, you know what? If he can go that fast, so can I.
Amen.
And I went into the corner and I didn't yield. I kept going. And at the end of the race, he was like, holy crap, you learned how to go through that corner. I was like, yeah, you did it. So I'll do it too. I'll just follow your lead. And so I did. And when you can do that, when you can truly step into your power and believe in yourself as much as the people around you do, things will explode. You will blow up those blind spots and move forward so much more quickly than just waiting for it to happen.
Wow.
Because if you just wait, it'll never happen.
Blanca, if I had to say the one thing that Krista can help you do better than anybody else is to help you understand that your damage is not your destiny.
Wow. That is so powerful.
It doesn't have to define you. It doesn't define you. It's developed you. Blanca,
Well,
what you shared about being bullied and all of that growing up, you know what? It never has to define you. It's developed you. It's taught you if you choose to listen, if you choose to learn.
If you choose, because look at your photo, Blanca. It's you with your hands up, And I can tell that you've had proper
I'm
form.
getting a new photo shoot done, by the way.
You've had proper boxing training. I could tell because your back foot is perfectly in alignment. I know this. The same way that I can talk to Krista about brake bias and putting forward bias on the back and this and how it completely changes the dynamic of a car. The same way that we can talk about raising the front and lowering it if you're understeering or oversteering.
Yep.
Same way that this stuff just makes sense is the same way that it makes sense to people.
Wow. You know, I feel so blessed to call both of you friends. And I hope that everyone's watching out here realizes that to be an empowering entrepreneur, you need to work with coaches that support you. No, I don't think anybody should go down a river. You wouldn't go whitewater rafting by yourself. You need at least 6 people in a raft. So why would you run a business by yourself? Why wouldn't you hire Krista to be your business strategist? Hire Natan to help you build all of the courses and tools that you need, events and all the resources of this international academy that Natan has built. Work with me on the marketing side. Whoever you choose, build a team. Do you agree with that, Krista?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I work with 3 or 4 different coaches in different aspects of my life.
Tell me who are they? I want to know who tell me who you're in your life.
So I have a business coach, I have a mindset coach, and I'm starting to work with a health coach. So there's 3, I guess, right now.
Wow.
Anyone else in this room
partners, like I mentioned.
Is there anyone else in this room, Krista?
To get things done on a team. It's so much easier to say, hey, you know what? If you're having a great day, share it. If you're having a crappy day, get the support to pull you up. Yeah. Yes, we can all bootstrap. And that gets tiring, right? So bootstrap yourself a little bit. And then when you're having a great day, I mean, we've all met those people at a networking event, right? I'll use networking because I do a lot of it. Your networking event, you walk in, the person's slumped over like, how's it going? Yeah, nice to meet you. Do you really want to hang around and talk to that person?
No. Don't
hey, I'm Krista. Nice to meet you. What do you do? Or what brought you here tonight, right? Come up with something a little different and have that energy that you want to attract, expel that energy, put that out there and say, okay, I'm looking for someone who's energetic, ready to go. Their foot is on the gas, their foot's covering the brake, and they want to get the most out of where they're going.
I love it.
Let's go.
Well, you're so right. I mean, that I teach a lot about networking. And that's one of the things I say is that you have to be physically, energetically, and intellectually. It's just like going on a football field. You don't go on a football field hungover, tired, and cranky. You go on a football field positive and ready to play the game. You want to network? Play the game. Wake up. Get fired up. And be positive.
And there's so much in sports, whether it's football, motorsports, whatever it is, there's so much that they do that is mindset driven. You know, think if you've ever watched, there's a movie from late 90s, early 2000s called The Replacements. Mm-hmm. It's a football movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Amazing movie.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's one of those where you go, all these guys were the cast-offs. Yeah. They were the players nobody wanted. And yet they beat the pants off of the guys who were being paid professionally. Well, you know what? How bad do you want it? Are you truly willing to do everything in your power to make it happen?
That may lead you to a law of life. Uh-oh, here we go, Blanca. You've been set up. Do that.
You think you've seen everything you can do. If you truly believe you've done everything you can do, talk to a coach. Talk to someone else and ask them. Because if you tell me as a client, if you come to me and say, I've talked to everybody I know about it.
Yep.
That's funny. I haven't heard from you and you know me.
Exactly. Well, it's like mountain climbing. If you can't get to the top of the mountain, but only the intermittent plateaus, you hire a professional mountain hiker to get you to the top of Everest. If you want to get to the top of Everest, you can, but you got to go for every
Sherpa. You absolutely need a Sherpa. But let me ask you guys, because if you're going up there, even before you look at that, there's one categorical truth that nobody whether you believe in personal coaching, whether you don't, whether you think you're super wicked awesome sauce and you can do it yourself, or you'll reinvent the rules, or you're magical. Okay. Is there any Olympic athlete that you've ever heard of in any Olympic sport ever in the history of Olympics that didn't have a coach?
Nope.
If
Doesn't
not
work
multiple coaches.
Doesn't work that way, guys.
Or teammates
Hire-
that they grouped with, or people that they, bounced ideas off of, they workout partners, whatever, right? They all
Your higher levels
all work
always
with
have
someone.
that. You
That's
need
right.
it.
We only have 30 seconds left. So, Krista, what is your number one law of empowering entrepreneurs?
It's not the strongest, it's not the smartest, it's the most adaptable to change by Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
Never the strongest, never the smartest. It's the most adaptable to change. How much, we've learned, if nothing else, we could probably do another whole segment on this, right? How much have we learned since March of 2020?
Tons.
Right? Have you adapted, or have you just sat back and said, wait for it to happen? My other favorite quote is the word crisis in Chinese.
Hmm.
It's two characters. It's opportunity next to danger. Which one do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on the opportunity, or do you want to focus on the danger? You can never focus on both.
Ooh.
Pick one.
Oh my
Opportunity
God, you're so right.
or danger.
Boom. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, because I think I've been too focused on danger and not enough on opportunity.
We can do another hour, Blanca. We can. I'm telling you.
We'll need to go again, Blanca. We'll need to go again.
I think, Krista, you really are an amazing, empowering, inspiring entrepreneur. So grateful for you being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's really a gift. You helped me, and I'm sure you helped a lot of people watching. A lot of powerful laws covered. Natan, once again, you've done it, Sir Natan, with bringing in extraordinary individuals. Blessed to call you my friend. Thank you, Joey, for stopping by. And everybody, come to the summit on Tuesday at 11. Also, Monday at 7 p.m. is the laws of crypto life. If you want to learn how to earn while you sleep and just learn about digital currency, join us. Tuesday at 11 is the summit. Wishing everyone a fantastic, empowering day. See you next time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.